was a really insightful address by Mr. R.K. Vishnoi, who is chairman and managing director of THDC, and also now he is holding the responsibility of NHPC. Rightly said, as you also got to know from his speech, that everybody is now talking about the next phase of renewable energy in India. From quite some time, India is dealing with traditional sources of renewable energy like solar, wind, hydro, and but now there's a new phase coming, which is of the not so traditional sources of renewable energy, some emerging sources of renewable energy like green hydrogen, green ammonia. So all these emerging RE sectors. So we are talking here about the new business and finance models that can drive this next phase of India's RE sector. We have eminent organizations here with us talking about the new phase of RE in India. I'll start with Mr. Akhileshwar Singh, who is Director Finance in SJVN Limited. Mr. Singh, SJVN is traditionally, it has been there in hydro from long time. And when we talk about building finance models, I can see what I have read about your organization is that your organization deals quite well in the market and compete quite well also, in this market to the private players, and you work, you're able to get very low tariff on your energy. So I want to know from you that what sort of finance model SJVN follows in terms of the renewable energy sector. To you, Mr. Akhileshwar Singh.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank RDCL and Government of Rajasthan for in economic times also to organizing this conclave successfully and inviting all the big players here. So far as I would like to add the energy transition or our business model. I would like to give just a background that our company was formed in 1988, and till date we have generated about 2000 megawatt, and we are having plan to generate 5000 megawatt by 2024, and 25,000 megawatt by 2030, and 50,000 megawatt by 2040. It can be a surprise to the people that from 1988 we have generated 2000 megawatt. Now our capacity of generation is 2091 megawatt. How we will be going to achieve our target? In fact, most of the people are knowing the hydro generation has lot of gestation period. Almost minimum 10 years, otherwise 10 to 20 years is required to develop a single project. And that is the story that the NHPC and NTPC were formed on the same day and same year. But NTPC is also, NHPC is generating about 7,000 megawatt and NTPC about 70,000. This is the story of the hydro, and we have to grow. And since we are in a business where the growth is very slow, and there are a lot of challenges also in the environment side, forest clearance, environment clearance. There is movement by NGO, although that movement is not, but maybe supported by somewhere else outside India. But I don't see it is a real movement. But it is a hurdle, and we have to grow, and energy demand of the country is growing. So we have tried to shift to the model. Will primarily be a hydro generation company. We are trying to generate hydro project even abroad also. We are doing one project in Bhutan, but we have kept out from the JV, and we are developing 3-4 projects in Nepal, hydro project. But to grow more and the coming demand of the renewable sector, we have to come in the renewable sector also. Renewable, I think hydro is also renewable, but solar, wind, and hybrid model, and pump storage, etc. So we are now coming up with the in the development of the new field of wind, solar, and hybrid model. We have tried to make the project viable. We have tried to obtain or take debt from the different sources. From the banks also, we have raised bond also, we have raised ECB also, and now ECB in US dollar we have raised, but now we are trying to raise ECB other than US dollar, because fluctuation in the US dollar is very much high in comparison to the Indian rupees. But if we compare fluctuation of Indian rupee with the other currency, it is almost similar, and that benefit will be going to reap it. And that's why in different methodology, we are not dependent upon the one source of funding. And by using different methodology also, we are getting cheap fund, and we are competing in the market with the low tariff.
Thank you, Mr. Singh. I think funding is also one of the very important aspects. There is a funding of like Indian finance, and there is an option of global funding. We see a lot of private developers take global funding in the renewable energy sector, and green energy financing is a global phenomena now. But when I come to you, Mr. V.R. Srivastav, Executive Director for Renewables in NHPC Limited, how does NHPC manages the finances, and how do you see your business model in this emerging renewable energy sector of India?
First of all, let me thank RRECL and Rajasthan Transco as well as ET to have invited NHPC to be part of this forum and express our thoughts here. Let me give a brief background about what we are doing in NHPC for the benefit of the panelists as well as the audience. Presently, we as A.K. Singh Sahib has said that 7,000 odd megawatt capacity we are generating, and this capacity was built over last say 47 years or so, of our 46 years. But you have to appreciate that we have added one hydro project every 2 years. So we have got 24 operating power stations, and as the challenges go in hydro development, those are there, but NHPC has been successful in overcoming that, and we are the largest hydro player. And at the present, we are having projects of around 10,000 megawatt capacity, which are under construction. Recently, we got a cabinet clearance for the largest project of India, 2,880 megawatt, Dibang project, which is the largest project of the country. So that is also taking off. The first contract has already been awarded, and rest contracts are coming. And side by side, that we have forayed into our renewables also, and Rajasthan as a state has given us the opportunity to install our first wind plant way back in 2016 in Jaisalmer. That was our first renewable energy plant. And other solar also, one is there in Tamil Nadu, but now a 300 megawatt plant is under construction. And as a facilitator mode also, 2,000 megawatt we are constructing here in Rajasthan. So Rajasthan is a big destination for us, for NHPC, and it has enabled us to start our journey in renewables. And as far as coming to the business model which we adopt, see, you have to see the environment in which you are operating, what kind of cost the environment is able to bear for the product which you are giving. So in solar, you see that tariffs, they are going, means they are the lowest among the world. So you have to tailor your business model according to that only. So you have to find out ways and means. But on that, one thing is there that there's been a lot many, developments, policy, enabling policies there, and they are evolving also. Government is taking note of all the changes which are happening, these, constraints in the supply chain which has come, and those are also being somehow, government is trying to overcome that. So we at NHPC, as far as the finances goes, that we have been, apart from two of our earlier projects, where we, obtained financing from JICA. Other than that, we have been financing our projects through domestic borrowing only. All those are funded by domestic borrowing. So we are not looking outwards, and that is how we have been financing our projects. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Srivastav. And as you said that you are venturing into these emerging sources of energy, and till this date you are focused on the domestic sources of funding only. Adesh Saxena, Head of Retail Sales Energy Efficiency Services Limited. Can you throw some more light on this, Adesh, about domestic source of funding versus the global funds? This is an in thing right now, green in the area of green energy financing. So just throw some more light on, because you deal as an organization with this quite prominently. So tell us about that.
Yeah. Thank you. And first of all, I would like to thank RRECL, Rajasthan Transco and ET for organizing such a wonderful event. See, when we talk about the financing, of course there are various sources that depends that how you would like to move forward in a particular fashion depending on the type of technology or the segment you are working in. Let's say we work in the field of energy efficiency and partially in RE. So when we talk about the financing, so we have our local support. Again, the business models are based on the same debt equity basis, where the debt is usually we take it from our local banks, as well as bilateral, multilateral organizations, so like World Bank is there, KFW and others, PF. So what happens that, let me first try to talk about the type of business model that we have especially derived. We call it PAYS, pays, pay as you save. So the overall objective of deriving these model, that when we were looking at, let's say, about the lighting industry, so first focus was on the domestic lighting, then comes the municipal lighting and various other segment, electric vehicle, smart metering, solar as well. So what was happening that the market was only 0.1% in year 2014 when we talk about the LED lighting market. And it was at a very basic level, the prices was very high. It was high as, let's say, 600 to 900 rupees for a small 10 watt or 15 watt bulb. And what we did basically, we started aggregating the demand. So we did the aggregation across India, and subsequently we did and conducted mass level procurement of domestic appliances. Could be the LED bulbs or the fans, or it was a journey itself. So we started step by step. So first lighting, then the energy efficient fan, then energy efficient AC, domestic appliances, then subsequently to the municipal lighting. So market was not that ready. Technology was there, product was available, but it was not stable. It was there, but as demand was not enough, so the prices were very high. So we started doing the mass procurement. Our first tender, what we did, we got a price of 314 rupees for a 7 watt LED. But subsequently over the period, if you see it, we have brought it down to only 40 rupees. So from 300 to and 10 to 310 to 40 rupees, that's quite a reduction. Subsequently, wherever the demand is, the production follows, and then the benefits along with that. So subsequently, with each and every procurement, we raised our standards so that we can provide quality product to our citizens and our stakeholders, let's say municipal corporations and other. So overall, if you see as a picture as a whole, then we were able to, when we developed these models, so procurement, we brought the prices low. Subsequently, the savings which resulted out of these by the utilization of these appliances or the municipal lighting. If I talk about the numbers, we have distributed more than 36 crore LEDs so far, which has resulted into saving of 1,000 megawatt peak reduction demand. Subsequently, monetary saving of 20,000 crore. So the math is very simple. You replace 100 watt incandescent with the 9 watt LED, and you see the effect when you multiply it with the entire population of the country or so on. Similarly, more than 1,000 ULVs we are working with, and we have implemented 1.27 crore LED street light across India. We give 50% minimum guaranteed savings. So the model procurement is done, better technology is there, then subsequently the repayments, because these models what we have developed, they obviate the need of any kind of subsidy or the upfront capital investment from the client side. So what happens is that because just for say example, let's say there is a light on the street which is of usually 400 watt or 250 watt. So with a lesser LED light, it can be easily replaced. So when there is a saving of 50% electricity in terms of the consumption, then automatically the client can repay to EESL and whatever investment I have made through that saving. In fact, the saving is, the model in such a manner, and the saving is so high that he can even retain some of the, let's say 10% component he can keep for himself, and then 40% he can pay to me. And within 5 to 7 years, we are out of that project, and then he can reap the benefit for the, whenever, till the LED or any of the product which lasts. The model is replicable, scalable at any level it can go. And now when we talk about the scalability, and when I talk about the numbers, of course, then I would come back to your initial question, that how do we arrange our funding and all. So, of course, when we implement such national level projects, then we need to have a backing of our financial partners. So, those are localized bank, national localized bank, private banks, and various institutes like World Bank, KFW. They also support us. They have their own requirement, they have their own standards, they look for the various aspects like carbon mitigation and other things. But the overall, if in a nutshell I talk, then it is doable, it can be done with the various combinations. So one should be basically, like they have to, the one simple model cannot be replicable to all, but they have to customize, and then subsequently it can be beneficial to the society and to all the stakeholders.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Saxena, for sharing with us about the business models you work on, especially in terms of LED, and you are there across the country with these municipal corporations, urban local bodies. SK Jaina Saab is with me, who is General Manager of Solar and Coal India Limited. Coal India, from the name it comes that coal, it deals with coal, conventional energy, thermal, a conventional source of energy. But we have seen now, Coal India is also, maybe there is a mandate from Government of India to PSUs to take up, the renewable energy projects. But again, Coal India is one of the pioneer energy powerhouses of the country. And if Coal India looks towards renewable energy sector as a possibility of business, as a business model, so, and we have seen that Union Minister had come to Rajasthan also, meeting the Chief Minister here, and you may also be planning projects in Rajasthan also in renewable energy. So, Mr. Jaina, I would like to know from you that being the General Manager of Solar Division, what is the vision of Coal India in solar sector, renewable energy sector, and what sort of business model do you see?
Yes, thank you. Good evening, everybody. Actually, what I wanted to say, you have already started. Coal India is producing coal and dumping tons of carbons on the environment. and you all are making the earth green, very contrasting combination. So let us say something about Coal India. Coal India Limited is the largest coal producing company in the world. Last year, we have produced 622 million ton coal, and this financial year we have targeted to produce 700 million ton of coal, and we will be achieving that. We are having 380 mines in 8 different states of India, with 3.5 lakh employees, direct employees, and we are contributing 85% of total domestic coals, and more than 70% coal used for thermal generation are being supplied by Coal India. So, Coal India, why Coal India should come to this? Government of India has decided that entire thermal power will be transformed to renewable power. May not be entire, but as much as possible. And CIL has started its journey with some business diversification. 10 years before, CIL has go to joint venture with some public sectors like Indian Oil, GAIL, Fertilizer Corporation of India, and started producing coal to fertilizer, coal to methanol, even aluminium industries, coal gasifications. And just now, Coal India is thinking to invest on producing solar power. We have some advantage for producing solar power because Coal India is having huge land, huge coal bearing land. The mined out area, the ground just above the underground mines, we are having so many lands, and we are having more than 1.2 lakh small, medium and big buildings with different sizes of roofs. So with this advantage, Coal India has thought about going diversification to renewable energy. For the diversification, Coal India has taken some steps. What Mr. Anup has told earlier, we have formed a separate subsidiary company, Coal India Navikaraniya Urja Limited, CNUL, and Coal India Limited Solar PV Limited. And we have also made some joint ventures with NTPC, Navally Lignite Corporation, and also SECI and EESL also. Now, before that, what steps Coal India has taken, we are a huge power consumer, a very big power consumer. Our net contract demand is more than 1100 megawatt. And last year, we have used 4600 billion units of power and paid 3,600 crore to the DISCOMs. And based on this requirement, Coal India has fixed a target for achieving 3000 megawatt solar power by 24-25. We have already started our work, particularly started the activities on our coal bearing lands, and by 22-23 we will be commissioning more than 350 megawatt of power, and by 24-25 we will be making it nearly 1000 megawatt in our own land. And Rajasthan, a state graced by Godson, we have also make a MOU with a state-owned generation company, RVUNL, and we will be producing on 1200 megawatt on a solar park. But what I have started, Coal India is now producing huge amount of coal, and Coal India as is, Coal India's caption is we also make green energy. But in future, when most of the thermal energy will be eliminated by renewable energy, that time we have to change our caption, we also produce coal. But we have some constant, obviously some constant. Being the one of the biggest power consumer, we can install the solar project plants, we can produce solar energy, but being a public sector, it is very difficult to market that energy. Government should take some steps so that we can use that power for our captive consumption. There are some different rules and regulation of the state discoms, where one source of solar power, one point of solar power cannot be used in multiple generation point. That is the main constraint, and very clear and positive policy of Government of India regarding the transmission of power, and some policy should be imposed regarding the energy adjustment. These three steps will make us enthusiasts, and I think by 24-25 we will be overcoming our target of producing 3,000 megawatt power, solar power, and that's all that this is the strategy in India.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jaina. And I think you have rightly informed all of us about Coal India, the intervention in now in the solar circuit, renewable energy circuit. And it's great to know that even you are also moving towards a sustainable future. And lastly, my question to you, Mr. Sudhir Kumar, Deputy General Manager of IIFCL. You are dealing with a lot of financing to, or envisioning financing the big RE projects. So tell us about your intervention in and your plan, your business model in this to leverage this RE sector of India.
Good evening, everyone. Actually, whoever companies are your joint partners and co-sponsors, all have been associated with IFCL. IFCL has been always supporting to renewable sectors. Even right now, our exposure in this is equivalent to road sector. So I don't feel that we are lacking in supporting these companies. Now these companies has grown and they are regularly paying us. Their business model is good. So the money chases the good business model. One fellow in the panel discussion was telling, earlier panel discussion was telling that now the money is chasing the green energy. So this itself tells that these companies are not facing any problem in looking for financing their projects. If there is any specific requirement or any innovative solution that companies want from we financiers, we are ready and happy to solve their problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Sudhir Kumar. And we have a paucity of time, so we'll have to close the discussion here. If you have any question, we can take only one question, the only one. Other ones are offline. Quickly give him and give us the question. Try to give a question, not a statement.
So, good morning, everyone. My name is Mohit Jain. I'm from. I work for a local government in New South Wales, Australia, and I also represent Sustainable Engineering Society at Engineers Australia. When we talk about clean energy or sustainable energy, we must talk about waste. And I'm specifically talking about batteries as hazardous waste. I wish to learn how are we currently managing our battery waste, and considering there will be an exponential rise in electricity generation and EV vehicles. And other areas where battery storage will be an important factor. How are we going to manage this hazardous waste?
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Got your
Thank
question.
you.
So he is talking about the waste. So who would like to answer on this? Anyone of you? The battery waste he's talking about. Okay.
I'll just tell you about sustainability and waste handling. See, I don't have the exact answer for you, but see, Government of India is focused, like in e-waste, there is a regulation that how e-waste is to be collected, handled and disposed. Similar kind of regulation is coming in solar also. We haven't seen plants achieving end of life, but rules will come and government will responsibly bring in such regulations so that how to handle that, how to recycle it. Because see, ultimately we have to move to a sustainable and cyclic economy. So all these, plants which will come to the end of the life, they will be disposed of in a proper manner without any, damage to the environment. That is the assurance, and that will come with time.
Follow-up question and
Yeah,
just
thank you.
one
Follow-up
small
question,
remark.
I think if you take it offline, I think if you can please meet him.
Just a very small remark. It's important to consider hazardous waste. Do you see this as probably a new business in the future, just managing the waste? And while we are speaking of waste, do you see biomass or biofuel as a future renewable energy source?
Yeah, that, okay.
In fact, battery waste is, the question of battery waste is there. Soon, this hydrogen is going to replace the battery. And in India, the complete electric vehicle transformation has not been done, and it will be slowly taking up. But I think there will be opportunity, what you mentioned, that the opportunity for waste management and extracting waste and converting into the other opportunity will be very good there. Even the people were talking about the panel, solar panel, so much coming, and after 25 years or 27, 23, or even I am not aware how much the capacity is utilized after 25 years, because there are very less plant where live the life. But there are good opportunity in processing the waste of the solar panel also, and many things can be extracted, and it will be a good business opportunity in future.
Right. So I think you got your answer that along with apart from other sectors, in RE sector there is also an opportunity of waste management business and entrepreneurship. So I think no, thank you. So we will be here closing this discussion, and the last question from the audience. There is another business model coming out of it of managing the waste of RE, like battery storage. So we have come to know in a very short span of this discussion that PSUs, even private sector, they all are developing their own business models, and there are global finance models coming up to boost this RE sector and to leverage this RE opportunities present in the country. And and it's great that an organization like Coal India, if turning towards RE or solar, it's a indication that the country is now moving towards net zero, and we have a great future, and we look forward that together we make a decarbonized society and a net zero economy. So here we close this discussion. Thank you so much.